Hello and welcome. It's Thursday, the 18th of June, on day 8 of the World Cup 2026. I'm Lee Anthony Days, and it's time for my World Cup 2026 YouTube channel. Coming up, we've got World Cup final score, followed by sports reports, group tables, look at tomorrow's matches, the contenders section, quiz questions section, also goal of the day, and a new section called Match of the Day, and we round off with the news and weather. So let's start off with the World Cup final scores, and we begin with yesterday's results that came in late. Group K, Colombia 3, Uzbekistan 1. Group L, Ghana 1, Panama 0. And now for today's results. Group A, the Czech Republic 1, South Africa 1. Group B, Switzerland 4, Bosnia and Herzegovina 1. Canada 6, Qatar 0. And a match that came in late this morning, Mexico 1, South Korea 0. And I'll be giving a report on that tomorrow. Right, moving on. Sports reports. So let's start off with the late kickoff matches, starting with Ghana and Panama in Group L. And it was Ghana attacker Waterman who shot at the goalkeeper, who pulled off a brilliant save. Chances came and went for both sides, with Martinez of Panama having quite a few opportunities but not converting them. But the dramatic moment came in 5 minutes to injury time, when an unchecked ball went across the Panama goal area and striker Caleb Urenki tapped the ball into the net to secure Ghana's 3 points and a crucial match against England on Tuesday. Right, moving on to another match played yesterday between Colombia and Uzbekistan in Group K at the new Mexico City Stadium. But it was Colombia who hit the first strike into the side netting. And then a pass from Arias to Diaz saw his shot pushed onto the post by the goalkeeper. The then pressure paid off for Colombia when Diaz chipped the ball into the area and Núñez volleyed it in the 40th minute, and to put Colombia 1-0 up at half time. But it was Uzbekistan after a shaky start as I'll say that again, confusing name, Hashmurnov fired in a shot that the goalkeeper could not hold onto, and Shemira Dev was there to head it in to make it 1-1. But it was the playmaker Diaz who ran onto the ball and fired home to make it 2-1. In the 65th minute, a fantastic cross from Fernandez was met in by the header of Campes in the 99th minute to secure a 3-1 victory and to go top of Group K. Right, let's look at today's reports. We start off with Group A, where the start of the second matches begin. Both the Czechs and the South Africans looking for their first win after a bad start in their opener in their group. But it was the Czech Republic that took the lead as early as the 6th minute, or to be precise, 5 minutes and 7 seconds, courtesy of Michael Sadlak, and held the lead to the 83rd minute when Pavel Sok handled the ball in the area, giving South Africa a lifeline, where T. Boa Mokina converts from the spot to give both teams a point each in Group A. But both teams know they must get 3 points from their final match or they could be going home. Right, moving on. Switzerland and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Right, we'll look at Group B, where all 4 teams were playing today, and we will start with Switzerland and Bosnia. Both teams knew that a point would be no good to both of them, and as the match progressed, no team was prepared to open up. But that all changed with 15 minutes to go when the Bosnian defence made mistakes by letting in Swiss forward Johan Manzambi with a knockdown ball and met in on the volley past the Bosnian keeper in the 74th minute to put Switzerland 1-0 up, and the drama was yet to come when Bosnia went down to 10 men when in the 80th minute when Tarik Muharimovic clearly brought down Embolo when through on goal. Scoring chance was sorry, when he went through on goal and had a scoring chance but was taken from behind by Tarik Muharimovic. And so he was sent off, and Ruben Vargas hit a curling shot into the corner of the net on the 84th minute to double Switzerland's lead. Then Vargas, the goalscorer, became the provider when he set up Manzambi for his second goal and Switzerland's third. A consolation goal came from a corner where Ermin Mamic scored with a volley to make it 3-1 in the 93rd minute, but Switzerland weren't done yet, and in the 97th minute got a penalty and converted it by Grant Zerkalo for an emphatic 4-1 victory for the Swiss. And the victory for the Swiss almost guarantees a place in the last 32, while Bosnia must win and hope results go their way. Right, moving on to the emphatic win from Canada today against Qatar in Group B, where Canada destroyed Qatar by 6-0 and booked their place in the last 32, with goals coming from Larin Saliba and a hat-trick from Jonathan David. And Mohamed Mane scored an own goal. The match itself was marred by 2 Qatar sendings off. This is Canada's first ever victory in a World Cup, and a historic one it was that. Right, moving on to the group tables, so I'll give you an idea of what's going on here. We start off with Group K. Leading the way is Colombia with 3 points, then Portugal with 1 point, along with Democratic Republic of Congo. Uzbekistan propping up the group. All teams have played one game, and Colombia have won 1 game. The rest of them have either drawn or lost. Now, the goal difference tally is in the favour of Colombia. They have a 2+ goal difference, where Portugal and the Congo have no goal difference, and Uzbekistan are the worst team in this position with -2 goals and no points, and only 2 games left. So my bet is that Colombia will be in pole position for qualification for the knockout. In Group A, Mexico top the group and win the group virtually. They've qualified for the knockout stage. They've got 100% record, 2 wins out of 3, 1 game to go. South Korea, they are on 3 points in second place. And then you've got Czech Republic on 1 point, with the same with South Africa. Now, the goal difference matters here. Mexico have already qualified, but South Korea haven't got a goal difference, and Czech Republic are only 1 behind them, so they have to win 2 goals. They need 2 goals, 2 clear goals in their next match to overtake South Korea if they don't win their match. That means even if South Korea get a point, it still won't be enough. It depends on goal difference here. South Africa's job is a little bit more tricky. They've got to score 3 goals just to stay in the plus. They're -2 at the moment. So anyway, Mexico, congratulations, they qualified for the last 32 knockout stage. Right, moving on to Group B. Canada and Switzerland have qualified. The reason being is Canada scored 6 goals, and it's going to be impossible for teams like Bosnia Herzegovina and Qatar to catch them, because Qatar are -6 goals, so they've got to score 12 goals to catch them, and there's no chance of that, so they'll be third at best. Then Bosnia and Herzegovina have got to score 3 goals plus another 6 goals to catch Canada. That's if they can win and Canada don't win, and Canada have to lose 9-0 for Bosnia and Herzegovina to stand a chance. So are you with me at the moment? But that's exactly what is in line in their final match, because they've all played 2 games. They've only got one more game to go. But Canada and Switzerland look good bets to qualify now. And I've called out Canada has already qualified. Right, that's Group B sorted out. Now we move on to tomorrow's matches. And I'll tell you where you can watch them. And if you're in America, I'll tell you where to watch them as well. So we start off with Group C. We're heading off to America, and Scotland and Morocco play live on ITV at 11 p.m. At Foxborough Stadium. So that will be live on ITV at 11 p.m. Right, moving on to the next match in Group C. Brazil take on Haiti. Now, after what happened to Brazil against Morocco, I think they're going to be very cautious at the back, because Haiti, even though they only lost 1-0 to Scotland, they show signs that they can cause the defence trouble, and they proved it. Scotland could only score 1 goal against them, so they're not as minor as you think. Anyway, they play Brazil tomorrow, who are meant to be the favourites, but after the Morocco performance, I don't know. Not for only favourites for this group, not for the World Cup, by the way. So anyway, they're playing in Philadelphia Stadium, and that match is live at 1:30 a.m. in the morning on ITV. Right, moving on to Group D. You can watch a match later on this evening between the USA and Australia. Now, they're playing on Seattle Stadium. America, as you know, is one of the host nations. They're playing at Seattle Stadium. You can see that match live on BBC One at 8 p.m. And finally, we're heading off to Santa Clara Stadium at 4 a.m. in the morning, when you can see it live on ITV. Turkey versus Paraguay. Yes, you thought I forgot, didn't you, the name of the teams playing? No, I didn't. Right, so that's what's happening tomorrow's matches. Right, moving on to the Contender section. And Felix Menentia, remember, who had the quickest goal, he's now been joined by another player. His name is João Neves, he plays for Portugal. He got a goal in the 6th minute, so he joins top with Felix Menentia. The quickest goal is 6 minutes, so they both have 6 minutes. I was thinking of separating by the seconds, so it might be more interesting doing it that way, because players might score on the 45th minute or the 90th minute, but it might be 1 second more than the other player. So I've got to consider second difference as well. But anyway, at the moment, as it stands, but tomorrow it might change, and it will change, I promise you. They're both the quickest goals scored by those two in 6 minutes. Menentia plays for Germany, and of course Neves plays for Portugal. Right, and we're moving on to the longest time to score a goal in the World Cup, and that goes to Marko Arnautovic with a 102nd minute penalty. That is 90 minutes plus 12 minutes over. Now, I don't know how the hell that happens. The referee must be taking everything into account, commercial breaks, I don't know. 12 minutes? Oh, dearie me. But anyway, that's the longest it took a goal to be scored. That was against Austria. That was for Austria against Jordan. Right, moving on to our top 6 Golden Boot contenders. These are the players that have scored most goals. Now remember, the matches played today, that would obviously have more players have scored more than 2. I can think of one already for Canada. Kyle Larin has scored 3, but he's not on this list because it was done before I did this list. But he will be on the list tomorrow, joint leading with the current person with the top goals, Lionel Messi, for Argentina, 3 goals. Second place, joining second place, should I say? There's a list of there's a sort of queue of players on second. But Harry Kane of England has scored 2 goals, marvellous, and he's now up there with the top scorers, along with Kai Havertz of Germany, Yazin Ayari of Sweden, Kylian Mbappe of France, and Elijah Just of New Zealand. Okay then, we move on. It's time for, let me see where we are. Oh yes, it's time for the top 3 teams scored the most goals. First, Germany, as you know, they scored 7 against Curacao. Now Canada, who scored 6 today, go on the list. They're second with 6 against Qatar today. And third, Sweden, well, they've dropped from second to third because of obviously Canada scored 1 more goal than them. Sweden are on 5 goals, and they got their goals against Tunisia. Right, now looking at the top 3 worst 3 teams in the World Cup that conceded most goals, obviously Curacao holds that record with 7 goals. Second, Qatar now, unfortunately, has conceded 6 goals, and they're second on the list. And finally, third, Tunisia, who got slashed to pieces by Sweden. They conceded 5 goals. Anyway, now we move on to the quiz question section, and here we go. Remember yesterday I asked a question, which commentator said the most famous lines in football history? They think it's all over, but it is now. I'll say it one more time. Which famous commentator said those famous lines in football history? They think it's all over, it is now. And I gave you 5 choices, and here they are. Was it A, David Coleman? Was it B, Des Lynam? Was it C, Kenneth Wolstenholme? Was it D, John Motson? Or was it E, Basil Brush? Boom, boom. The answer was obviously Kenneth Wolstenholme. David Coleman could have said it, and so could John Motson, but I don't think Basil Brush would have said it. He would have said it with boom, boom at the end of it, wouldn't he? Anyway. But that's the answer, Kenneth Wolstenholme. If you don't know who he is, apart from those famous words he said as a commentator, he actually presented the first ever match of the day on BBC One back in 1964, where it was recorded live. It was in black and white, obviously, and it was the first match ever to play on BBC One, highlighted, was Liverpool against Arsenal. That was the very first match that Match of the Day ever had. Right, okay then. Well, trivial rubbish, you would think. You know, who cares? But I care because I like to be informative. Right, okay then. We're moving on to today's question. If I can find it. I haven't got the question. Give me a second. I have got the question, but I've dropped it. I've dropped the damn thing. I'm sure it's here. Oh dear. What a... let me give you a question and we'll come back to it tomorrow. Right, I've got a question for you. What an idiot. What a total bellend I am. I can't even get myself together with the questions. I've got so many notes here and I couldn't even... Oh, sorry. There is a question. It's at the bloody bottom. I couldn't read it. I thought it was all in one. No, sorry. Quiz question coming up now. True or false? Was the World Cup ever stolen? Was the World Cup ever stolen? True or false? Right, now, am I true or false after that fiasco, malarkey, debacle? Anyway, it happens. You remember Blue Peter, an elephant took a dump live on television. So, I mean, how embarrassing is that? Anyway, never mind. We move on now to goal of the day. This is where I give my choice on after all watching all the matches, who I think was the best goal of the day. And my choice is Daniel Munez scoring a fantastic volley for Colombia against Uzbekistan. That's my choice. You might have your own choice. That's fair enough. Right, moving on. A new section, match of the day. This is where I choose the best match to watch. What I thought, in my considered opinion, of today's matches. This is the match that I chose. It's Canada against Qatar. Not because of the 6-0 win. It's because of the sheer way they went about their business. You know, they were relentless, and they showed a lot of skill, and they showed a lot of attack, and they never gave up. And even better still, it was their first ever win in a World Cup match. They've been here 3 times before, and they failed to get a point, you know, before then. But now they're going to get out. They're going to qualify. It's unbelievable, this World Cup, isn't it, on the minnows. I did predict a few of them that will do well. Anyway, never mind. So we're coming towards the end of the show. There'll be another one of them for tomorrow. We're moving on to the news now. And in sports, Canada hit Qatar for 6 and winning their first ever game in a World Cup. Sports bodies defying Supreme Court ruling to allow trans athletes to compete. Other news, Andy Burnham wins the Makerfield by-election and is ready to oppose Starmer. Right, so much for that. Sorry about that, I'll move the camera. I was a bit shocked with that result as well. I was expecting Reform to win. But nevertheless, that's one of them things. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with a long day of giving you analysis, giving you my projection, reading the sports results, giving you sports reports. I want you to join me. It's fun, even if it's not what you consider a professional doing it, but it's all entertainment, you know what I mean? Entertainment, that's what I do it for. I do it for fun, you know, that's what I do it for, because I like doing it off the cuff, and if I get it wrong, you know, I've got to try and sort of find a way to find a narrative to get out of it. I don't know, but I do make those mistakes, and I even made a cock up there with a quiz question. I'm sorry about that. I wish I never, you know, I felt like burying my head in the sand, you know, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to go now because it's been a long day. I've got another long day tomorrow as we continue with my World Cup 26 YouTube channel. My God, what a mouthful. So anyway, I'd like to say thank you for watching. If you like this video, as well as all my other videos I've been doing recently in the last week or so, please hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please don't let me put you off or frighten you. Please hit the subscribe button. It does get better, I can assure you. And tell your friends about it as well. At least if I'm anything, I'm valued for money, for entertainment or a good laugh. Anyway, I'm off now. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.